Welcome back to my 1968 Globetrotter. If you started off with us on the part one of these videos, we were about to demo our kitchen and rework it and work with a woodworker, start resourcing, and I was inspired by a willy-nilly map. Now we can't just skip to the reveal, and I think the majority of people want to actually see the process that we went through. So here you have it, the demo. The oven and stovetop went away and was sold on Facebook in one day. We have exposed all the logistics. It's time to clean and prepare not only the walls, but even the flooring. We had some flooring repairs to do. There was an old water leak that we found, so we were able to seal it and remove the actual old kitchen. And then the trailer had to go to on-site for the actual cabinetry to get installed. For those that are purists who are more into keeping and maintaining the cabinetry, I just feel that sure, there is a spot for purists, but I also will say that the cabinetry was thin, the wood was subgrade because they were very concerned about weight. And I haven't added a lot of weight because the removal of that oven and stove combo not only took a lot of space, but was heavy. My countertop is called Decton, and this is a newer countertop, and it's super thin, it's super durable. Decton is created by high heats, and it's a combination of glass, porcelain, and quartz, which makes it a super non-porous surface that is suitable for indoor and outdoor applications. And although it is durable, the actual getting it in is a little tricky, and thankfully we worked with a great team of people. Here we have a progress video. It's been dusty, and I also want to clean up some of the yucky walls. Before we cover it, I just want to clean it as best as we can get it. Oh my God, how gorgeous this countertop is. Leather finished. Yeah, dreams do come true. Daughter is working on the adhesive wallpaper. We've ordered from a map store the actual willy-nilly map of Yellowstone. We refinished the beautiful vent. Never thought you'd hear the word beautiful with the vent. He's removed all the grommets. I'm going to do the flooring today in the bathroom. Just a little update in the floor. I think it'll brighten it up. I want to get a new blind for the bathroom. And my husband's going to do the walls. Yay. Coming together, and it's very exciting. I'm going to vacuum and keep the site clean. There's nothing like when you're doing construction. It's just lovely to have everything clean, kind of like when you're cooking, right? So I hate starting to cook in a messy area. So I have to organize it, get it cleaned so that I can start making a mess again. Here is an upholstery project that I thought I would do as part of just a little freshen up of the bathroom. No major renovation, just some new flooring in there. This is a funny little toilet seat cover. It had yellow on it and this old plastic. This is actually where the toilet seat, where you put it down, and then it becomes a little chair in the bathroom. I guess after you bath or shower in there, then you can sit and dry. And if you have to use the facilities, then you flip this up and use the facilities and pop it down. When the chair is like this, if you pull this part down, there is a little cubby for storage in there. Taking the hook, there was a little snap, pressure fit snap in the back here, and this is the old upholstery, and I'm just doing a little beautification job. So I have upholstered just simply. Then with this, I actually brought the upholstery, and it was really buckling at this point, as it would, because there is a straight piece here. So because of that, there will always be a bit of a buckle. And there was on the old upholstery, there was just a big kind of bow. So I have upholstered this side, and then I simply took this
portion, the back portion, flipped it under. That's from the seat upholstery. And now I've taken this, and because it is tapered, there's going to be one kind of dart or fold there. And now I thought I would just take you on the last part of this. Thought I would film it. I was almost done it. I thought, I'll just show you how, not easy, but I've always really thought of upholstery as being similar to that of gift wrapping.
So ta-da, here we are sitting in my 1968 Globetrotter Airstream, and we are at a vintage trailer rally seeing all kinds of gorgeous Airstreams, Trilliums, Shastas. It's a perfect time to do my reveal video. I've actually used it for a couple of days, and here you have it, the new updated kitchen, reworked to modern storage conveniences. The original inspiration was the willy-nilly map. Oops. Here it is of Yellowstone, and I worked with a graphic artist too. Once I purchased the map online and got the download, I was able to get a couple of proofs, and we were figuring out the coloring. You'll notice a slight difference in the whites before they actually made it to this large size that you're seeing behind. The only thing that we haven't done is we are actually going to do it on the door of the bathroom. I have a whole piece ready for putting it on the door, the extended piece from the top all the way down so that it's actually matched properly to the area on the right. And that was really my inspiration, if you remember back on that first video, was the willy-nilly map that I had seen on an A-frame video on YouTube in a rec room, and they had the Yosemite willy-nilly map as wallpaper, and I thought, what a brilliant idea, especially in a traveling trailer like the Airstream. These maps were done in the 40s, but that's all right. It makes all the sense in the world, and you'll see behind me on my couch, when we were in Yellowstone, we bought this beautiful cat studio pillow, which as we travel, I want to collect a few more because they're actually all embroidered by hand, and they have all the iconic spots of Yellowstone, just as the willy-nilly map also highlights all of those similar spots. And it was such a fantastic trip. So going back to the renovation, it actually turned out even better than I had hoped. You know, with design, I feel like it's an evolution. You may have something that inspires you initially for color, for the feel, the vibe of what you want, but as the renovation demo resourcing prospered, I was inspired additionally by the light hanging over the kitchen. It has these brass studs, and in the original video, wish was to have the incorporated unvarnished brass to integrate it, even though the aluminum silver color is synonymous with Airstream. And I was going to put it on the wall, but evolution of your design, you should never be like hard-nosed about anything, about your thoughts. Flow state and be creative. As I did with the aluminum walls, were going to be difficult to find in Canada, and I wanted quilting, and then it was difficult to resource that. So once I got the maple cabinets put in, I really loved the color of the wood. That evolved to my husband suggesting putting the maple up the walls and bordering it with the chrome. I like that idea because the color of the maple is so beautiful. that I thought that warm wood would be, it would just create a certain warmth within the trailer. I liked that. Facebook Marketplace, I found the tiling and the backsplash tile, which I thought was so graphic and cool. And I was worried about it paired with the wallpaper. I thought it might be a little too much, but it pairs very nicely. They play nice on the same wall even. Creates a barrier between the stovetop and the wood and the vinyl wallpaper. As I was saying, you have to be really flexible with design, because sometimes your dream, your inspiration, sometimes there's issues. Sometimes the resourcing is an issue. Although this looks very similar to how I had envisioned and how I drew those very first drawings, I think that it turned out even better. One of the things I was mentioning is the lighting. So it's a company called Mateo, which is fun. These brass studs that I thought played so nicely into my idea, I thought I could even incorporate studs into my design. So this is a piece of aluminum where we were able to do a cut and a bend right here. Or scoring on the opposite side, and my husband bent it. We PL'd it onto here, but then we drilled little pinhole drops and got these beautiful little brass studs at Lee Valley based off of some of these studs on this light, and even so much as putting them here. They say devil's in the detail. Another one, and even here there was a little hole in the window here, and I even put a little stud in there. And here my husband put a dimmer on this light, which is lovely. I think that it is, devil is in the details. That's not a very nice saying, but I think it is. You know, when you put in extra details like this, it creates a very curated look to a design, I think, when you add little touches like this without taking it over the top. And, you know, when you think of a kitchen like this, it's only so many feet long. Having said that, I will say that I improved even these two cabinets because they are so close to each other, 3 feet away from each other. And this is my closet, new baseboard. The one thing that I did not incorporate into from my drawing is I was going to create a shelf from the control center, and I also had some brass hangers and shelves. And you know, being that this is so small, I kind of just love the curve, which was a bit of a trick to get the wood to curve like this. It just looks so nice the way it is. So I think, you know, I wanted to just see it and live with it and see if I wanted to incorporate a rail with maybe a flower pot and some hanging brass utensils. I'll see. I mean, that's something that you can add on after the fact. The nice new sink, lovely. Nice. There's even a wooden insert that I can put on top of this. This beauty came from Morocco, if you can imagine. Works well. This actually came from Amazon on my stove, and I'll just open it up, and this, lovely. It works so well. My handles and the faucet both came from Etsy. My handles came from the UK on varnished brass. I said I was going to share all the costs with you, and I will. The budget was around $5,000, and we spent that. The woodwork was around $4,000, and all the cabinetry. The cabinetry was all handmade. There was nothing out of the box about this build, because the Airstream nothing is straight. And sometimes there's 2 angles in one cut because everything has a curve to it. So the backsplash I had found on Facebook Marketplace, and the wall, we know that is the same maple that is on the cabinets. And we just bought more of that maple wood. All of the bands came from Home Depot. The banding around the edge and around the seams. This banding at the very top, Home Depot as well. Yeah, just a bit of innovation and some goodwill, and we made it happen. It was around $5,000, the taps and the hardware, and but my lighting was definitely between this light, the Mateo light, and This one, the sconce that has the brass and the black in it, that one was Facebook Marketplace. I got it for $25. So the lighting was probably my best deal, and you can't say that for every project because usually lighting is not your best deal. But if you do have some patience and you're willing to look around and shop your marketplaces, your restores, sometimes you just never know. And look at this light inspired a whole other bunch of stuff to happen within the design. So that's the reveal, and I hope you enjoyed the going through this experience with me. It was something that is like a typical project. You know, once you're in the thick of it, you're like, oh, I can't wait until I get this over with. But once it's done and you're enjoying it, I'm happy to have it finished. Now we just get to spend the coming years just enjoying the functionality of the kitchen and enjoying the design too, for sure. I wouldn't probably do an update like this in just any trailer, but Airstreams are synonymous for lasting many decades, and certainly our Lola, she's got a lot of life in her. And now with this kitchen, I'm sure any future owners, if we ever do sell her, which it would be hard to do, will really enjoy, I hope, the aspect of the aesthetics and the functionality and the storage that I've increased. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe, because I do all kinds of projects like this around the home and around our lifestyle, and it's always fun to share. That's all for now. See you next time.